Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to day 20 of our 30 days of yoga challenge. Today we are getting specific and into our glutes. So we are going to create flexibility throughout our glutes and kind of the outer hip area. So find just a little bit of space to move and let's get started. So let's begin today sitting down. And we're going to bring our left leg out long. And I want you to bring your right foot over top of that leg. So rest it on top of your quad as best you can. And then you might keep your bottom leg out long, out straight. You might even add a little tip forwards, but we are trying to find that stretch through the right glute and that outer hip. So I'm actually going to bring my hands behind me, lean back a bit so that I can plant my left foot on the ground and encourage my legs towards my chest even more. So that might do the trick. You might start to feel that right glute, that outer hip. You might feel this all through the leg if you're lucky, but just flex this top foot, point your toes up towards the ceiling. You might even kind of wiggle side to side a little bit. And we're just going to be moving through today a whole bunch of different glute and outer hip stretches. So just like that. And if you've got your bottom leg bent in like I do, we are going to start to send it back down and uncross our legs. And you might give your knees a little rock side to side. We are going to stick with the right leg and that glute. So I want you to come forwards here and lay down your right shin so that's almost parallel to the edge of your mat. And we're going to lean to the side a bit here so that we can bring the left leg out behind us. And kind of this is called 90-90. So the front leg is kind of doing a 90-degree angle thing and the back leg is kind of doing a 90-degree angle thing. So you might be leaning to the side a little bit here, but I want you to try to kind of bring the chest, the upper body to the left a little bit, kind of tipping forwards from those hips. And you might kind of wiggle around a little bit here as you drop your chest down. And we're trying to find that glute, that outer hip, and moving the upper body around a little bit just kind of helps us find the right spot, because if you just stay where you start, you might not be stretching the right spots. Nice, you guys. And just playing with it. And then we are just going to lift our upper body all the way back up. So we're going to take this front foot, and I want you to bring your heel back a little bit so that shin's not parallel to the top of your mat anymore. And we're going to start to send that back leg out behind us. So it's just going to pivot around here a little bit, move this front foot in towards the left hip. So now we're centered and we're no longer leaning over to one side, and our left leg is out straight behind us. And we're just going to try and sink into those hips. So you can keep that chest lifted, or you can start to tip forwards a little bit. But the same thing, if you want to kind of rock the shoulders a little, move a little, encouraging those hips into the floor. So even a little push for those fingertips, almost like you want to send your hips back to the bottom of your mat, but they're probably not going to actually move. They're just going to encourage the hips down a little bit more. Might help you find that glute, that outer hip. Nice, you guys. A common misconception with pigeon is a lot of people feel it through the inner hip. And we don't actually want that in pigeon. We want to get the outer hip. And the more open your hips are, the more you might actually heel toe your foot away from your left hip and bring that shin parallel towards the edge of your mat again, and that's going to deepen the stretch for you through that outer hip and that glute. Nice job, you guys. All right, if you're tipping forwards, use an inhale, start to lift your upper body back up. Let's just rock to the right side a little bit so that we can bring our left leg forwards and uncross those legs. Just take a seat for a second, rock it out. Now we're gonna switch sides. We'll go into that left glute. So the right leg can come out, the left foot can rest on top of the quad. And you have the option to stay here, bottom leg out straight, maybe even tip forwards a little bit, or you can lean back and just encourage the shin towards your chest. And you can bring your hips as close to that bottom foot as you'd like. Point your toes of that top foot up towards the ceiling though. Flex that foot. Protect that knee. And maybe just wiggling around a little bit to find it. So a lot of options today, a lot of different glute variations. So you might feel a great stretch in some of the things that we do today, and you might not feel anything at all in some of the things that we do today. So it's kind of all about experimenting. Come back though, straighten that bottom leg, and then let's uncross. If you need a little shake, take a little shake, and then we're gonna start to set up our 90-90 with the left leg forwards. So that shin is gonna try to be parallel to the edge of your mat. Send your back leg behind you, but keep that knee nice and bent, 90-90, and then just kind of start to find it. Maybe you feel it, no problem at all. Move if you feel like you need to move. You might not even tip forward very much here. You might be bringing your chest all the way down to the floor. Just kind of play with it. Feel your breath, feel the stretch. Nice job, you guys. And then let's start to lift ourselves back up. And you can just start by sliding that left foot in a little bit closer towards that right hip as you just lift up and send your right leg behind you. Setting up for pigeon. Take a second here. Think about sinking that left hip towards the floor and that right hip flexor towards the floor. Maybe adding your little rock side to side. And you can start to fold it forwards at any time. And just those fingertips lightly pushing into the mat. Thinking about sending those hips back a little bit. Might deepen things for you. And those of you with even more space to work with, feel free to move your left heel a little further from your right hip flexor. Nicely done, you guys. And then using an inhale, let's start to lift our chest back up. And you can rock to that left side and bring your right leg forwards. Maybe give yourself a little hug or a little rock side to side. We're going to stay seated. And then one of my favorite glute stretches, double pigeon. So sit cross-legged to start. And then let's take our right leg. And you're actually going to take your foot and rest on top of your left knee. And that left foot is just going to move out a little bit so that it's underneath your right knee. So thinking about bringing both of your shins parallel to the edge of your mat if you can. And I like to flex my feet, actually point my toes straight out in front of me. It just helps keep the knees happy. And then from here, you guys, you might be leaning back a little bit and there might actually be space between your knee. If you've got a pillow of some kind that you can actually rest there, you might be a little bit more comfy, but definitely just keep your hands behind you. Nice long spine for support if you feel like this is where you're at. And those of you with a little bit more space to work with today, think about dropping that top knee down towards your foot. I'm just going to shimmy back here a little bit. But then the same thing with everything we've done today. You can move your upper body side to side a little bit, and you can drop that chest as much as you need to. You're going to feel this through that top leg. So whatever top leg you've got, you're going to feel it through that glute, that outer hip. Double pigeon. Nice work, you guys. All right, let's use an inhale. Lift your chest back up, and we are just going to move our knees together. So you're just going to kind of slide your top leg over to the edge. For me, it's the left side. And you're just going to try and squeeze your inner thighs together and stack your knees on top of one another. So cow face. So the edges of your feet can be resting on the floor. You might shimmy them a little bit closer towards you. Squeeze those inner thighs together. And I find if you want a deeper stretch, actually shimmy your feet a little bit further away, almost like you want to create a straight line between your shins again. So you can rest your hand on your top knee, your hands, and take an inhale and lengthen your spine. Feel free to stay sitting tall or adding a forward fold. Again, you're feeling to feel this primarily through that top leg. Don't be afraid to add a little rock side to side with those shoulders. And just kind of play with it. Nice job, you guys. Just finding what gives you the best stretch. And use an inhale to lift your upper body back up. We're just gonna unwind our legs. Take a little rock, a little shake. And then we're gonna switch sides. So make sure you're bringing your other leg on top for your double pigeon. It might be that left leg. Trying to stack the shins, stack one foot on top of one knee on top of one foot. Toes pointing straight out, flexing those feet. Remember, you might be here. Use your hands behind you for support. Breathe through it. And you might be here. You might be dropping that top knee towards your ankle. You might be folding forwards even more. And a little rock side to side can be a game changer. Awesome work, you guys. And using an inhale, lift yourself up. If you are folding, and we're just going to encourage our inner thighs together, our knees together to slide the top leg over. And then just kind of squeeze those inner thighs together. Try to keep both of your sit bones down on the floor. Shimmy those feet into a place where you're stable, you're balanced, and you're centered. And maybe tipping it forwards. I'm trying to find that glute for that top leg. And again, it might not be hard at all to find it in any of these things. Any of these weird positions that we're putting our bodies in. Nicely done, you guys. And then with an inhale, we're just going to start to lift ourselves back up. I want you just to slide your legs back so that they're uncrossed side by side, giving yourself a little hug, a little rock side to side. Nice job, you guys. And then let's start to make our way all the way down onto our backs. So you can roll yourself down. We're going to do our recline pigeon or figure 4. So take your left foot, bring it over top of your right knee. You might keep your right foot down on the ground. We did this kind of when we were seated, but now we're laying down, but it's very much the same. You're just encouraging your shin and your legs towards your chest. And you can hang onto the back of the right leg or the shin. You can flex that left foot, point your toes either behind you or just above you. And feel this all through that left glute and that outer hip. Nice, you guys. Take another inhale here. And use the exhale to unwind your legs, uncross them. A little rock side to side if you need it. And we're going to switch sides to the right foot, crossing over top of that left leg. Keep that left foot down or lift it up. You can take this one as deep as you'd like as you encourage your legs towards your chest. Awesome work, you guys. Stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, let your legs go and uncross. Feet can find the floor. And maybe do a little rock side to side. Awesome work today. Nice glute stretches. Sometimes after our workouts, we need to focus on stretching the glutes. So now you've got a whole bunch of ideas. Feel free to stay laying down and spend a few moments in Shavasana today. If you would like to come up and join me in a nice comfy seat, you feel free to do so as well. But just bring your hands together in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.